Wasn't pretty, especially at the beginning. Kind of struggled out of the gate pitching, even a little fielding, and even some base running mistakes. But guys stuck with it and able to tough one out today.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. You always got to give your opponent credit, but we weren't sharp on the mound. We don't make a few plays. They put some 2-strike balls through the 6-hole and the 4-hole, and just a recipe for not good baseball and giving up runs. But really proud that I've been challenging this group. At some point, we got to come from behind. At some point, we gotta not panic and not press, squeeze the bat, press the panic button. And we did that. We chipped away. We got a lot of production from our bullpen. And then offensively, we just kept chipping away and gave us a chance in the ninth.
And, some of those guys that came through, real clutch, obviously Eddie, big hit there, hasn't, probably been the season he thought he might have, at least at the beginning so far. But still able to keep his head, keep pounding away. Big 2-out hit there, tie that game in the ninth.
Huge. Anderson's backside hit, Eddie's backside hit, and obviously Benson, moves the ball, gives us a chance. So you like to see guys that have been in the program, for a few years, what we preach and try to set them up to succeed. But yeah, Logan Beard has a great day today. So a couple guys that maybe hadn't been in the lineup every day, but they've been in the mix and they've started, obviously, several games this year. Just shows our depth and our talent. And like I said, my challenge is just to keep guys going, as Dylan Hoy's jumped in the mix now, and he looks like he did before the season started. Got to keep Alex going because Alex has been really good as well. So we got a lot of options position player-wise, and we got great production from our bullpen again today.
You mentioned, all the different guys you've got. We've talked about it a little bit throughout the season, the challenge maybe of trying to keep all these guys going, but not only a challenge for you, but a challenge for them, not being able to run out every day, but staying ready and taking advantage of their opportunities.
It's what we call being professional, right? It's rarely does it go the way you want it to go. I mean, this is a journey. This is very challenging, and you're going to get faced with adversity. So embrace it. We've been saying enjoy the process. Just enjoy the process. And the process is not going to be easy. The process is going to come with curveballs and challenges and frustrations. But if you want to be a champion, you learn, you grow, you get tougher, and then you're better suited to handle those tough times. And no better time than right now, as we're about to start ACC play and the challenge of playing the great competition in the ACC. So this group is battle tested, and I'm glad we had one of these games today where we were able to come out on the winning end. Wasn't easy, wasn't pretty, but man, we showed a lot of fight.
Talk a little bit about what you're, looking at and seeing maybe on paper, or just kind of what your gut's telling you to go with Benson there in the 10th, on a righty-righty matchup, but didn't seem to bother him, didn't bother you to throw him in there, and what led to that decision?
Benson pinch ran for Anderson there in the 9th, and so
just happened to be.
But he was in that batter spot, but believe me, I'm eyeing several situations where he could also pinch hit. And for the guys that started in the lineup, they went to a certain righty that had really good splits against righties, not so good against lefties. The luxury is I got Humphrey on the bench, I got Klein on the bench, I got Alisea on the bench. So, the luxury was I had some really good left-handed bats, and Anderson, manufactured there a huge hit in the 9th, and then so it's hard to go through a game and not play JT at some point, whether he hits or he runs. But he was a captain. He was a leader today. He trusted his teammates. And so those guys that didn't start, man, they were ready. I mean, this dugout, we're starting to come together. We've learned a lot about how to play the game, how to be ready in this first month. And so I feel like we're battle tested and looking forward to the ACC competition.
As you look forward, it's obviously one of the best conferences in the country, littered with, top 25 or top 30, 50 RPI teams. How do you feel like you guys are prepared as you head towards this, next portion of the schedule?
I mean, you say learn and grow. I mean, we've learned a lot in a short part of the season. How to win, how to lose. There's winning baseball and there's losing baseball. And the goal is to play winning baseball. And even when you play winning baseball, you could come out on the other end. I thought those guys they played winning baseball today, and they just came out just a little short, and they came out on the losing end. So just enjoy the process and prepare to play good baseball. And when you play good baseball, turn the page. And when you don't play good baseball, hey, turn the page. You got to show that toughness and bounce right back. We got a talented group. I mean, we got a good, talented, deep group. I just need to keep them loose, trust their ability, and let's get ready to compete.
So as you have gotten so many good quality starts, over the course of this non-conference portion of the schedule, obviously you have to feel really solid about the starting pitching, about certain guys. What are some things that you'd like to clean up as you look forward?
I mean, you're never a finished product, right? You never have all 14, 15 hitters going. You don't have all 10 to 12, 14 top arms going. I mean, it's just guys that aren't going, trust their ability, work through it. You can get going. And guys that are going, don't get ahead of yourself and don't get too high. And just like we keep saying, just enjoy the process. And but it's a good feeling because, like I said, I believe in these guys. We got a lot of talent. Now we got to show our toughness and compete in a great league.
Awesome. Talk a little bit about, what the mindset is like today. Maybe your number's not called right away, but able to, keep your head in the game, stay ready, and know, your number could be called at any time, and, just staying prepared and ready for the moment.
Yeah, that's just part of it, trying to stay prepared. Coach Mack walks around, making sure everybody's loose, ready to go in the game, because you never know the situation. You never know how close the game may be, but it's all about also trusting the guys in front of you. You don't want to be over-prepared because you want those guys to not have success, but you just want to be their biggest cheerleader on top of that, staying ready to play the game.
So, your numbers, called, go in, do some base running, and then you come back around in the 10th, get the opportunity to win the game there with a single. Talk a little bit about what you're looking for at the plate, if you're looking for something specific, and just, what that moment, what the mindset is in that moment.
Yeah, it's obviously about slowing the game down. That's a big time situation. You don't want to squeeze the bat too tight. You just want to trust what the coaches have been, preaching to you and working with you for since the summer. For me, for 4 years now. So it's all about trusting the approach, going up there, doing the same routine you do every time. It's just a little bit bigger moment. So you want it even more, if anything.
Dan talks about this being a developmental program a lot, and can you talk a little bit about your development through your 4 years and just seeming to get incrementally better, each year as it goes along, off to a hot start at the plate, making great plays out there, even get the outfield assist. So, talk a little bit about that for me.
Yeah, just as a freshman coming in, you don't know what to expect, but I got COVID coming in. I got 60 dudes in front of me that are just ready to play. It's an unlimited roster my freshman year, so if anything, that was a learning moment for me. I also redshirted. In sophomore year, you got pretty much the same thing. You got some dudes in front of you. You got to work in the mix, but it just constantly, if anything, I just learned the game more and more until I got now. I'm still learning the game, but the guys in front of you will honestly teach you the game. The game teaches itself, and you just get comfortable playing the game. I feel like physically I've gotten better, and if anything, I'd say the mental side of it and understanding the game was probably the biggest improvement I made.
So, talk a little bit about the leadership role that you've got here, being a team captain, probably being one of the most vocal guys that you guys have in that clubhouse. What's it been like taking on that role, and just like as you've seen that from other guys before, but then also maybe obviously having to just be yourself at the same time.
Yeah, just learning from the guys before me. As like I said, being a vocal leader has something, or being a vocal has been something I've always been like. I feel like I've always been able to speak my mind, speak what I see, just try to help other people. It's not just because it's my opinion. It's just really trying to help the guys get a seat from a different perspective. And I feel like as an older guy and being a captain on this team, it's been new for sure. You got a bunch of dudes. You got real dudes that play the game hard, and just trying to help them here and there figure out what's their coaching style. What do they like to hear, and what do they not like to hear? And I feel like that's, if anything, been my mindset. Just trying to grow constantly, close to these guys, understanding them, and yeah, I love that about this team.
And one last thing, as you guys head into conference play now, what's the vibe like in the locker room? How you guys feeling? How confident do you feel after some ups, some downs here throughout the non-conference slate? But seem to have got it going here the last few weeks. What's the locker room feeling like?
Yeah, I feel like the camaraderie on this team, on top of the fact that we're having a little bit of success, the vibe and everything just keeps rolling. It just keeps rolling. Even the loss the other day, we scratched that and we were back on our stuff. So, yesterday being a big win, today being a big win, I have a lot of confidence in this team. We have a lot of confidence in each other, if anything, going into ACC play. So we're excited.
Awesome.